Some goodbyes are brief, some are lasting, and some leave us feeling as though we've been left with a question mark. Imagine this, seeing a loved one who has supported you through thick and thin, provided for your children, and helped you achieve all of your triumphs, now fighting for his life. It is unthinkable to be forced to say goodbye in a whisper without knowing if it will be the last time. Kelly Ripa had to confront the heartbreaking reality when Mark Candwell's health issue placed her in the most trying situation a woman can be in. Feeling torn between letting go and holding on, this cannot be written off as a story about a famous couple. It's about the generally shared sensation of having one's love upended by fear, of bearing the burden of fortitude while simultaneously making decisions that last a lifetime. Hold on, because after listening to Kelly's story, you may have a fresh perspective on your own life. For many years, Kelly and Mark were much more than just TV stars. Every day they became symbols of affection. When she first came, people in their 60s who watched All My Children recall how young and unsophisticated their love was. You saw them grow into responsible adults, parents, spouses, and workers with your assistance. Their marriage served as a brilliant illustration of how it might withstand the spotlight, but no amount of filming could stop the private quarrel that was boiling beneath the surface of the morning television laughs. Kelly brought up subtle cautions. Mark would get tired, even after accomplishing fairly simple tasks, things that are initially little and that you may attribute to growing older. However, love sharpens one's senses. Kelly knew something was wrong. Couples who have been together for a long time can see this right away. When he wasn't acting himself, she believed it was critical that he get medical help. He kept fighting until he realized he couldn't go on. A family's existence might be abruptly turned upside down by a doctor's remarks. Kelly recalled the room. Irreplaceable, scientific, and brutal. In addition to being a medical diagnosis, it was also an emotional one. To ensure survival, plans, deadlines, and objectives have to be adjusted. The absence of that moment is obvious to anyone who has ever sat in a similar situation prior to a doctor breaking bad news. It was Kelly's first admission. She considered the prospect of having to say goodbye. The IQ is unlike any other place. Hope feels fragile as the murmurs get louder and time slows down. As she moved through the hallways, Kelly described the constant beeping of the equipment, the calm urgency of the nurses, and the smell of antiseptic. With every step, the time seemed to pass more quickly. Any doorway may be the waiting place for the news she wasn't ready to hear. And Mark stayed firm through it all. She and her husband fought in quiet, trapped by his medical apparatus. Even with their expertise, doctors can still be hurtful. Kelly might have to make a decision, she was told. A more aggressive path with greater uncertainty in the results, or a more straightforward path with less discomfort. The horrible weight of having to make a decision on behalf of someone you care about when you would do anything to avoid having to do so is well known to anyone who has ever shook hands while signing a consent form. Kelly was heartbroken. She realized that love can be both a fighter and a let go. Kelly said what no spouse ever wants to hear as she kissed her husband on the forehead. "If you have to go, I won't mind." Her voice trembled as she publicly admitted it after the incident. She was not going to give up. It was the purest form of love. She advised him to stop fighting if things became too difficult. Many viewers have mumbled a farewell as though torn between self-centered aspirations and selfless affection. In what appeared to be their final moments together, Mark clutched Kelly's hand, shy and unsteady, yet determined. He wasn't ready to go. He wasn't saying goodbye. That tenuous hold was his answer. "I still have more to do." Kelly broke down in tears, a mixture of relief and fear, for the fight would not end with a single act of bravery. Kelly recounted nights when the number of hours of sleep was outweighed and machines played lullabies in place of prayers. She stayed by his side as he breathed, finding solace in the thought that he was getting better. People who have sat in hospital bedside recliners would recognize this image: worship mixed with fatigue. The alarm sounded when everything seemed to be in order. Medical personnel swiftly poured in. Kelly was sidelined as the medical team struggled to stabilize Mark. She compared it to being a helpless bystander to your own life. This is it, she thought for a moment. I feared that this would be the final goodbye. The monitor suddenly leveled out again. Inexplicably, he was still here. Nevertheless, the experience left her emotionally damaged. In the face of hardship, love becomes action. Kelly worried that by forcing him to fight an impossible war, she was causing him undue stress. She claimed to have considered allowing the doctors to ease his discomfort or allowing it to worsen. For many caregivers, this delicate balance between protecting and pressing, between loving and losing, is a source of silent sorrow. Many years ago, on a quiet evening at home, Mark had confided in Kelly. Kelly Ripa disclosed a devastating period of her life in an emotional confession that has enthralled people worldwide. She disclosed that she had to bid her husband Mark Consuelos with tears because he was going through a battle that made the couple make a tough decision. The frequently animated and humorous television host admonished that she was not ashamed about the situation. It's the most difficult thing imaginable, she said. It is difficult to be strong when the person you care about the most is experiencing a hardship that you cannot handle. It feels as though tears appear suddenly. Famous for his roles on the television series Riverdale and All My Children, actor Mark Consuelos has always radiated confidence and strength. But behind the scenes, the couple had to make painful decisions that no family ever wants to have to do. As they considered the various treatment options, life adjustments, and the impact on their three children, Michael, Lola, and Joaquin, Kelly said the battle tested them emotionally and spiritually. The lack of assurance was the most difficult part, Kelly admitted. At some point in your life, you will need to accept the road you are on and let go of the life you had envisioned. She explained that this departure was more than just about Mark's health. It was about the routines, goals, and way of life they had previously imagined for themselves. Even though it was difficult, the conflict strengthened their bond. Ripa praised Mark's courage as nothing short of inspiring, and she shared that his fortitude motivated her to continue even when she thought she could no longer bear it. The words, "Mark never gave up," escaped her lips as she shared them. Even on the worst days, he could find something to be happy about. That gave me a sense of hope. After Kelly's tearful confession, her fans were eager to show their love and support for her. Social media sites like Facebook and Twitter were inundated with messages praising her candor and requesting prayers for Mark's recovery. Many followers shared their own stories of love, grief, and resilience, and said that Kelly's remarks gave them comfort. Kelly's openness has shed light on the toll that these kinds of difficulties have on the family members who are around the person who is suffering. Although the details of Mark's struggle are still confidential, Kelly's candor has revealed the costs associated with such difficulties. She emphasized the importance of relying on support systems, which can include close friends and medical professionals, and the resilience of faith and the transformative power of positive thinking. Kelly and Mark are crying, but they are still hopeful for the future. They have prioritized family over all other factors and viewed every day as a present. When you've been through something like this, every hug, every laugh, and every meal that you share becomes sacred, Kelly said. Her heartwarming story serves as a reminder to her fans that love can keep individuals going through the most trying circumstances, even during periods of heartbreak. Although Kelly and Mark may have found it difficult to split ways, it has also led to a renewed sense of hope, a stronger bond between them, and a deeper appreciation.